Action. Okay, this is part two with Mr. Wu's collection of Canon cameras and its history. Okay, we just looked at FDB.
Yeah,
Now,
FTV. So fast forward another 2 years, 1973, we have this Canon EF. That same year, Canon came up with the Canon F1, the top line one. That is the equivalent of the Nikon F2. So EF is different. It's the only one Canon in that history, in that lineup, which uses a metal shutter, like the Nikon. So you got a vertical metal shutter. And also, it has a combination winding, shutter button, and shutter speed dial, somewhat like a Flex and a few other camera. The Nikon FG also something like this. So here, after you load the film, you turn on, you just wind until it stops. So when it stops, you're at frame number 1. Then, without battery, this shutter speed can run from 1000 to half second without battery. Then it houses 2 batteries to power the low speed from 1 second to 30 seconds. So these are electronic speed powered by the battery. So it's a hybrid shutter. The fastest speed mechanical down to half second, and then from 1 second to 30 seconds is powered electronically. So it has automatic exposure. You can put it to A, you select the shutter speed, the camera select the aperture, shutter priority. Unlike the F1, you cannot take out the head, you cannot change the screen, and you cannot put a motor. But otherwise, it's built the same way the F1 is built. Again, they have this multiple prong self-timer mechanism. So
was this considered a professional camera, would you say?
yeah. Pull it down, self-timer, push it up, stop down, pull it up, mirror lock. So this is same. And this one already start to use the new photocell, silicon photodiode, more sensitive than CDS. Okay, and then you lock it, so everything is locked. So Canon EF. But after that, few years later, Canon moved from metal camera base to plastic parts. So they came out with the AE1. They came out with the AE1. I don't have that here. AE1 was one camera that Canon made that broke the Guinness Book of Record for the single model sale. They sold million over units. So it was a very successful selling camera. Then 2 years later, 1978, they came out with a multi-mode camera, the Canon A1. So I have an A1 here. Stop. 1978, Canon came out with the A1, a multi-mode camera, program, aperture priority, shutter priority, and manual. So you can have program. You put it, you turn the wheel until you see program. So this program mode, or you select the speed. This is shutter priority. Or I turn the wheel away from TV to time value to AV, aperture value. So I can dial in the aperture, the camera set the speed. Or I disengage the ring here, I have full manual control. So this Canon multi-mode camera, electronic, no battery, doesn't work. It's contain the same mount, bridge lock mount. And now you can put winder. You can put winder with flash system. Also quite successful camera. And this is the time where they have electronics and they combine some parts, metal and plastic combined together. So you have the A1. Then the industry moved forward. Microprocessor was coming into the camera. Then this bridge lock mount was improved a bit. Now this one is a new bridge lock. This time there is no ring for you to turn, but you only turn the outer shell. So when you mount, the outer shell moves, but the inner lens doesn't move at all. So it's still a bridge lock, but they make it more compact. Then more automation came to the camera, and Canon have to decide, because of the diameter of the lens throat, they can only make lenses only that big, and that is a limiting thing. So when they want to move, they make a clean break. They introduce the new system, the Canon EOS, electro-optical system. So they came up with this EOS 650, 620, a lot of polycarbonate. So this one now has autofocus. Before that, other company has autofocus. Pentax has autofocus. Some has autofocus lens. You have a lens that is autofocus, Ricoh and Olympus, but they were not working so well. And then Minolta come up with the first successful autofocus system. But that motor was in the camera body, and that is a shaft and drives the gear in the lens, a bit noisy and slow. So Canon used a different method, no motor in the body. Motor is in the lens. So they use this system, and from then on, Canon began to be at the forefront of autofocus cameras. So they have this. By today's standard, it's a bit primitive, but it still works. So you have the EOS 650, then they improve many other models, and this is a simple one for consumer, EOS 1000. So now they have a little built-in flash, the rest automatic. Then 1980, improve again. They have this much better focusing system, faster winding. So this is year 2000. This one is a consumer version of the big fellow. The EOS 1, they have a EOS 1, then the EOS 1N, and this is the last one before they kick the bucket. EOS 1V, the last film camera from Canon. So this one is like the F4, F5. In fact, they were better, faster, focusing much faster. It takes the F5 to equal this camera. So when F4 is struggling. So this one, that time, this camera have already won the hearts of all the media company. So when you go for the big event, you find one whole cluster, all the Canon shooting the world. Then after that, the next turn when it became digital, then there's another generation of things. So I don't have much of digital, so I don't have a digital to show. I'm more of a film guy. So when people ask what about camera, I say I don't know how to use digital camera. I say I only know how to fly a propeller plane. I don't know how to fly a jet plane. I tell people, if a jet plane go missing, they always use the Hercules propeller plane to look for the jet plane that got missing. So all things, the number reduced but never disappear. I got friends who still listen to music with a gramophone. So they don't disappear, just the number become less. So that's it for Canon.
Oh, great. That's a lot of information to digest. But boy, I tell you, I think the Canon boys will be really happy about this, especially because Canon has such an interesting history, and it's so innovative. Because my first SLR camera was the Canon FTB. But one thing I did notice though, when you put the FD lens on, it kind of automatically turns to the right. it's almost like,
Opposite of the Nikon.
yeah, but the locking system will turn
It's spring-loaded.
it'll turn a bit.
Yeah, yeah. So it won't drop off the
So
lens.
will you? Yeah, exactly. And that was quite interesting.
Yeah.
But I think one of the biggest problems was it happened to me a couple of times. If you put the rear lens cap on, I can't get it off.
You had to turn the ring.
And I turn the ring and it still won't come off, and I had to take it to the shop to unlock it. I don't know why that
Now,
did.
Canon was doing the camera, but over the year, they moved into other industry, and they leapfrog. They became a Fortune 500 company. So the camera division actually now is just a small part of their business. The huge chunk of the business is in other industry, and because of that, they have the biggest patent bank for a camera maker. They pay young people in the university to design new things, and they buy the patent. They got a whole pile of patent waiting to be used. They don't use it all yet, so they have many tricks up their sleeve to last a long time.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, we can't wait for what's going to be happening this year with the Paris Olympics coming, and the most anticipated camera is probably the new Canon R1. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Wu, and looking forward to the next brand. Everyone's just biting their nails for the next brand. Until then, we'll see you again.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.